request Professor Tumala and Head of the EE Department, Professor David Koilpillai, to occupy the stage. We also extend a hearty welcome to Shri Amar Dutt and Shri Madhu Babu of BEL Academy of Excellence, Bangalore, who have been one of the big sponsors of our Web MTech program. I also welcome the older batches of the Web MTech program. I request everyone now to stand up for the invocation songs, Tamil Thai Varthu, followed by Vande Mataram.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் மதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரிதனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே. வந்தே மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் சுஜலாம் சுஃபலாம் மலயஜ சீதலாம் சஸ்யஸ்யாமலாம் மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी फुल्लकुसुमितद्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्.
I request the HOD, Professor David Koilpillai, to formally welcome the gathering and present a report of the department activities during the year 2021-22.
Respected Chief Guest, Professor Rao Tumala, distinguished invitees from the Bell Academy of Excellence, graduates, parents, family members, colleagues and students, good afternoon. On behalf of the faculty, staff and students of the Electrical Engineering Department, a very warm welcome to each one of you who have joined this year's D3P. As you know, during 2020 and 2021, our D3P was completely online. So it is extra special that we can hold the D3P 2022 in person. It is my honor to present this annual report covering the highlights of the department for the academic year 2021-22. I would like to begin by congratulating all the graduating students and wishing each of them a brilliant future. A special word of commendation to the parents and the family members for raising these brilliant young engineers and scientists. We are very proud of each one of them. We extend a very special welcome to our chief guest, Professor Rao R. Tumala, currently the director of the National Science Foundation Packaging Research Center, and also the Joseph M. Pettit Chair of Electronics Packaging at the Georgia Institute of Technology, Atlanta, USA. He is an IBM fellow. IEEE named him the father of modern packaging. He has published more than 800 papers, 7 textbooks, and holds more than 100 US patents. He's a member of the National Academy of Engineering and a fellow of the IEEE. Sir, it is indeed an honor for us to have you as the chief guest for this year's D3P. Thank you for accepting our invitation. We look forward to your address to the graduating class of 2022. This year, IIT Madras completes 63 years and is on a strong growth trajectory in the pursuit of excellence in every sphere of education and research. As you probably heard at the main convocation, some milestones that we celebrate as an institute and as a department. IIT Madras securing the first rank among all engineering institutes in the country for the 6th year in a row in NIRF ranking. Number 1 in the overall university category for 3 years in a row. Ranked number 1 for the 2nd time in the Government of India ARIA ranking, Atal ranking of institutions for innovation achievements based on metrics related to innovation and entrepreneurship development. And also that IIT Madras is a member of the MHRD Institution of Eminence scheme since 2019. So when IIT Madras started in 1959, electrical engineering was one of the 10 departments. So we are as old as IIT Madras. So we have also, as a department, complete 63 years. Here are some photographs and images of the NIRF award and the ARIA award received by IIT Madras. I'd like to move on to looking at what this year's convocation is like for the department. This year, the department is awarding 267 degrees. BTech and BTech Honors 54, Dual Degree 69, MTech 53, Web-Enabled MTech 45, MS 14, and PhD 32, bringing the total up to 267. I would like to mention the 3 students who won prizes at the main convocation. The Siemens Prize for the BTech student with the best academic record, Abhishek S. Philips India Prize, Dual Degree student with the best academic record, S. Sivasubramanian. Siemens Prize for the MTech student with the best academic record, Lishma Matthew. Congratulations to all our students. A glimpse of what the department is today. Today, we are the largest department in the institute. We have 70 full-time faculty, 6 distinguished professors, 2 professors of practice, 13 adjunct faculty, and 14 visiting faculty members. The student demographics of the electrical engineering department, BTech, dual degree, and MTech combined, we have 788 students. The number of international students is growing and is expected to increase substantially during the academic year 2022-23. The research scholars, MS and PhD, total 636. A total of 1424 students, almost equally split between the course-based students and the research scholars. Electrical engineering has a student-to-faculty ratio of 11:1 in the teaching programs and 9:1 for research students per faculty. Some key events during the past year, July 2021, Professor S. Christopher, who is the former chairman of DRDO and the Secretary, Department of Defense. He was appointed as a professor of practice. Professor Christopher provides leadership in terms of R&D links between IIT Madras and DRDO. We have the pleasure of welcoming 3 new faculty members, Dr. Sudarshanan Srinivasan from Hewlett-Packard USA and University of California, Santa Barbara. He joined in January 2022. Dr. Amrit Singh Bedi from the US Army Research Labs in Maryland, also IIT Kanpur, joining in December 2022. Dr. Lakshmi Narasimhan Tyagarajan, a Fulbright Fellow at MIT currently, also for IIT Palakkad, joining in December 2022. We look forward to welcoming them on to the electrical engineering family. The department is proud to have association with the following distinguished professors: Professor Paul Raj of Stanford University, Professor Sheshadri of University of California, San Diego, Professor Leonard of Aachen University, Professor Tundat of the University of St. Andrews, Professor Dolakia of University of St. Andrews, and Professor Tundat of the University of Alberta. Last year, Professor Doctor of Medicine Katrin Amunds of the Heinrich Heine University of Düsseldorf and the Institute of Neuroscience Medicine in Jülich in Germany also joined us as a distinguished professor. We currently have two professors of practice, Professor G. Rajeshwaran from Grantwood Technologies and Professor Christopher, formerly of DRDO. And we have one visiting professor, Professor M.A. Atmanand from the National Institute of Ocean Technology. The department is a comprehensive department covering all areas of traditional electrical engineering as well as the emerging interdisciplinary areas that overlap with electrical engineering. The department comprises research groups and laboratories grouped into 7 major areas: communications and signal processing, power systems, power electronics and high voltage, microelectronics and VLSI design, electronic system design and instrumentation, photonics and RF, integrated circuits and systems, control and optimization. The department offers MTech programs in all 7 streams. During 2021, the EE4 stream, which traditionally covered both instrumentation and control, was bifurcated into 2 separate streams for MTech admission and for research activities. They were bifurcated as EE4, which is electronic system design and instrumentation, and EE7, control and optimization. All 7 groups are active in research and teaching, creation of research facilities, and in the formation of new courses. 2021 academic year, 21-22 academic year saw the introduction of the interdisciplinary dual degree programs and the international interdisciplinary master's programs in which the department is participating. Programs such as energy systems, electric vehicles, quantum science and technology, robotics, cyber-physical systems, complex systems, and dynamics. These are the dual interdisciplinary programs that we are participating in. I would like to use this occasion to highlight and congratulate our colleagues who had received special recognitions. Professor Inakshi Bhattacharya, IEEE Census Council Distinguished Lecturer. Professor Bobby George, IEEE Transactions on Instrumentation and Measurements, the most published author of all time. Dr. Shripad Karmalkar, VLSI Society of India Best Faculty Award. Adir Khan, Qualcomm Faculty Award. Dr. M.A. Atmanand, the D. Srinivasan Endowment Award of the Ocean Society of India. Dr. Nagendra Krishnapura, Distinguished Lecturer of the IEEE Solid State Circuit Society. Dr. Deepa Venkatesh, the INAE Abdul Kalam Technology Innovation National Fellowship. To add to that list, Professor Ashok Junjunwala received 2 Lifetime Achievement Awards, the Voice and Data Lifetime Achievement Award and the Lifetime Achievement Award from the India Energy Storage Alliance. Professor Bhaskar Ramurthy, the Lifetime Achievement Research Award of IIT Madras and the DRDO Academic Excellence Award. Dr. Uday Kankoje, the Young Faculty Recognition Award. The SERB Power Fellowship for Outstanding Women Researchers and Innovators 2022 was awarded to 2 faculty, Dr. Lakshmi Narasimha and Dr. Shanti Bhattacharya. In addition, our faculty also held 25 editorial roles in leading technical publications of electrical engineering. There were 14 memberships in scientific management boards and advisory boards. During 2021-22, 55 patents were filed in contrast to 6 the previous year. 8 patents were awarded in contrast to 6 the previous year. Our students also have received numerous awards and recognitions. I'd like to particularly mention the IIT Madras Avishkar Hyperloop team that has won international recognition for their design of the transportation system. Currently, the team is competing in the European Hyperloop Week in the Netherlands, and 10 electrical engineering students are part of the Avishkar team. I'll move on to sponsored research in the department. The electrical engineering faculty have been active in applying for funding, research funding from various Government of India funding agencies. Sponsored research, as you know, is a key enabler. It enables the procurement of new equipment for labs and upgradation of research facilities. During 2021-22, the department received 26 sponsored projects with a net value of 47.5 crores. I'd like to particularly highlight that on May 18th, the National 5G Testbed was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and on May 20th, the team successfully demonstrated a 5G call on a fully indigenously developed network. We also have ongoing multi-year projects in the area of consultancy, 28 industrial consultancy projects worth 21.78 crores, 45 research-based industrial consultancy projects with a net worth of 87.5 crores, 3 retainer consultancy projects with a net value of 2.65 crores. 2 items that I would like to highlight. The Sudha Gopalakrishnan Brain Center, inaugurated in March 2022, led by a faculty member from electrical engineering. It is an interdisciplinary effort to map the human brain at the cellular level and become a leading global center impacting both science and medicine. This center has been funded with the funding of more than rupees 10 crores. The emphasis Quantum Information, Communication and Computing Center, approved in March 2022 with a funding of rupees 21 crores. The Electrical Engineering Department has 8 centers of excellence, each of which attract substantial amounts of funding of sponsored research, some of which was mentioned in the previous slide. The 2 that have been in the news recently, the National 5G Testbed and the Healthcare Technology Innovation Center with the Brain Center. We also, as part of the Institution of Eminence, the department has received substantial funds for the creation of 11 prospective centers of excellence. The list of the 11 centers that you can see on the screen. The centers that have already received substantial amounts of funding are the Advanced Technologies for Early and Non-Invasive Vascular Health Assessment, the Photonic Integrated Circuits, Quantum Information, Communications and Computing Center. These are prospective centers of excellence which have already received substantial amounts of funding. We also saw the completion of the ESB Annex. This is the construction that started more than a year ago. It's a G+6 building designed for 28 labs and 17 offices. Total built area of 51,000 square feet with an estimated cost of rupees 16 crores. The ESB Annex was inaugurated in January 2022 and will be fully devoted to the new faculties, laboratories, and for future centers of excellence. We cannot complete a report without an update on COVID. I'm happy to report that the institute is currently fully open. All the students are back in the campus and we are preparing for an in-person classes for next semester starting a few weeks from now, July 25th. But one personal incident that I would like to share with you. This was a note written by an electrical engineering student to one of our faculty colleagues. He termed it as a letter of gratitude. He said, our course concluded today. I'd like to take a moment to express our gratitude on behalf of the class for making this course a pleasant experience. Having mini quizzes every week was extremely helpful. I'd like to underscore the fact that our faculty have implemented multiple formats during the COVID time, just to make sure that the process of teaching and learning is conducted in the best possible manner. So I would like to acknowledge that. The deadlines for uploading the assignments was extended many times. We understand the students were under pressure, so there was flexibility that was always offered to them. Requesting relaxed checking of the assignments because the students were under a lot of pressure. They were too less sleep and too much work to get done. Again, faculty were listening and responding to the difficulties faced by the students. Student goes on to say that creating a WhatsApp group for the course and actually actively participating in the WhatsApp group was something we never imagined a professor would do. The faculty have found effective ways of connecting and communicating with students even through the 2 years of the pandemic. And lastly, the student says, in fact, you actually cleared all our doubts the night before the end sems in a single stroke, and we are extremely grateful for that. And as faculty, we're always ready to go the extra mile. I believe this summarizes it the best. This email and the sentiments behind it illustrates the way the electrical engineering department has handled the COVID pandemic. It also symbolizes the department's commitment to teaching. So I would like to end this report on a word of appreciation to our faculty, staff, and TAs for going the extra mile and carrying us through the COVID period into now what we consider a period of normalcy. Now we are ready to move forward, incorporating all the lessons that we have learned during the pandemic. So I conclude by saying that the academic year 2021-22 was a very eventful academic year for the electrical engineering department, though much of our academic activities had to be held online because of the prevailing pandemic. But as we stand at the D3P of 2022, we would like to thank each of you for sharing this day of celebration with us. A special word to the graduates. Dear students, you are leaving the portals of a great institution that has endeavored to give you the very best of education and a holistic experience, even in the midst of a pandemic. So today, you change from being students to alumni. We trust that you are carrying with you very happy memories of the department. We are confident that in the years ahead, each of you will make IIT Madras and Electrical Engineering Department proud of your professional accomplishments. Congratulations again, and all the very best for a brilliant future.
It now gives me great pleasure to introduce the chief guest for today's 2022 D3P function of the EE department, Professor Rao Tummala. Professor Rao Tummala holds the Joseph M. Pettit Chair in Electronics Packaging in the School of Electrical and Computer Engineering at Georgia Institute of Technology. Professor Tummala has had a long and distinguished career. Prior to joining Georgia Tech, Professor Tummala had been at IBM for 25 years as the director of IBM's Advanced Packaging Research Laboratory, responsible for IBM's strategy and programs in the US, Europe, and Japan, before accepting a research center directorship at the Georgia Institute of Technology in 1993. He was a fellow at IBM Corporation, where he invented a number of major technologies for IBM's products for displaying, printing, magnetic storage, and packaging. He was the lead materials scientist, pioneering the industry's first flat panel display in the 1970s, and was the technical leader and program manager for the industry's first R&D in multi-chip module, leading to the first 61-layer low-temperature co-fired ceramic, LTCC, in the 1980s. He has pioneered a number of electronic industry technologies, such as the first plasma display and the first 100-chip package, that is now called the chiplet package. For the last 28 years, Professor Tummala has been at Georgia Tech as an endowed chair professor in the ECE department. He further holds a joint faculty appointment in the School of Material Science and Engineering at Georgia Tech. He is also the founding director of the first and only NSF Engineering Research Center in the USA, called the Microsystems Packaging Research Center. This center is targeted towards pioneering the second law of electronics, the first being Moore's law, of course, led by his systems on package vision. Over his illustrious career, Professor Tummala has created a large and successful global industry consortium and educated thousands of engineers. He has been instrumental in the graduation of several hundred PhD and MS students in the packaging engineering field. As an eminent researcher, he has published more than 800 papers, written 7 textbooks, and holds more than 100 US patents. He recently received the highest faculty award, the Distinguished Professor Award from Georgia Tech. He has several professional awards to his credit as well. He is a member of the National Academy of Engineering and a fellow of the IEEE and the International Microelectronics Assembly and Packaging Society, or IMAPS. IEEE named him the father of modern packaging and created the IEEE Rao Tummala Electronic Packaging Award, which is a technical field award. He has served as the president of the IEEE Components, Packaging and Manufacturing Technology, or CPMT Society, between 2000 and 2004, and president of IMAPS between 1998 and 2000. Professor Tummala, I request you to address the gathering and impart a few words of wisdom to the graduating class.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, can you hear me? Excellent. Well, distinguished faculty, I'm a faculty myself, students, and I understand many parents are here as well. So I bring greetings to each and every one of you from Georgia Tech in the US. I've been there, as you heard, for more than 2 decades. So thank you very much for the kind introduction, David and Professor Andagan. So let me start my speech. So first, my sincere congratulations to each and every one of you on your single most important and life-changing achievement of graduating from one of the very best academic institutions in the world. As you know, IITs are considered the very best, not just in India, but throughout the world. I take a lot of students from India. Almost all of them are from IITs, believe it or not. So you're all set, in my view, you're all set for a great career in whatever you do for the rest of your life, because you have proven to be intelligent, hardworking, very focused on learning, and delivering on your commitments. Guess what? That's what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Okay, hundreds and hundreds of times. That's what I did. Okay, 25 years at IBM and 25 years at Georgia Tech, over and over. If you perfect these, and if you're passionate about what you do, 2 ingredients for success in my view. Okay, again, 2 things. If you perfect those attributes and passionate about whatever you do, it doesn't matter. You're guaranteed to be highly successful, because that's what I did as well. I feel greatly honored to be the chief guest at this year's convocation, e-convocation of IIT Madras. I thank Professor Kamakodi, your director. I got to know him over the last 2-3 months, because we both are advisors to ISM, okay, the Government of India's new mission for electronics, which I'm going to talk about a little bit. So I'm going to talk about 4 items very briefly. First, a little bit about me, not because I want to brag about, because if I could do that back then, look at what you could do today with all the latest knowledge you have. All of you are very, very smart, okay, much smarter than I am. Okay, so I'm going to describe a little bit about that. And so that's one. My life and how I became number 1. I like to think of myself number 1 in my field because of those 2 attributes. It's really about, okay, I'm an expert in packaging. I never expected anyone really understand packaging, to be honest. But packaging is a buzzword in India, believe it or not. I must also tell you, everybody has a different definition of what packaging is. My definition, there's one thing I would like you to think of from my talk today, what packaging is. Packaging is not packaging as a device. That's what everybody thinks. I have this chip, I got to package it before I can use it. So that's okay for research, but that's what we've been doing for 40 years. We wasted a lot of time. My view of packaging, very simply, take all the components in a system like smartphone, all of them, connect them in a way, power them, cool them if you have to. Okay, the end goal of packaging all to make a system. Simple system. That's what's missing in India, in my view. India is very design-centric. Okay, I believe India could transform itself, okay, if it followed the simple, go from design of IC and package, okay, and become what I call system-centric. Go from design-centric to system-centric, okay, India can transform by that simple, okay, by the simple analogy. So I'm going to talk a little bit about global electronics, okay, and a little bit about my vision, a little bit more than what I said, my vision for Indian electronics. India, in my view, I've been coming and going now for a long time, almost 2-3 times a year. Okay, and because I've been wanting to help India, I work with many countries. I traveled to Japan probably 100 times, China probably 50 times, Europe countless. Okay, but I have not been successful in really working with industry here. Academic, yes, to some extent. Okay, but in my view, okay, India can be a global leader, not just a global player, which it's not today, a global leader because of all the things that are shaping up. I'll touch upon that as well. And a little bit about my life's lessons. So I have 7 life lessons I teach to my students as well, exactly the same. So let me tell you a little bit about each one of them. I was born not too far from here in Andhra Pradesh. okay, by a poor farming family. I didn't think they were poor at that time, but as I look back, they were. Nobody from that village ever went to college. I had siblings, but they passed away very, very early in their life, so I ended up as the only child. My parents were determined for me to be a medical doctor very early, okay, in my life. So they knew I had to be the very best student for me to get into the best medical schools. So we all started on a journey together, me and my parents together, as a family with a purpose. I worked hard, so did my parents, okay, to get me tutored almost every step. At age 15, I entered medical school that lasted one day. Guess what? I fainted at the sight of blood. So on the first day, I went around the hospital like all the other students, I fainted. So I called up my mom, Mom, I cannot be a doctor. And I said, let's not tell Dad, but what do you want to do? I want to be an engineer. That's what I did next day. I started engineering. So anyway, I quickly changed to engineering, eventually graduated with a BS degree. Then I went to University of Science. And back then, actually, during that particular time, they reduced the number of years for a bachelor degree from 3 to 2. So I actually finished my University of Science BE degree in 2 years. I left India to go to US at age 19 with 2 bachelor degrees behind me. So I did my BE degree in 2 years at IIT. So I carried that intensity of working night and day, 7 days a week. That's what it took at the University of Science Bangalore for me to get a degree in 2 years. I carried that intensity of learning onto my PhD. And I like to think even today, I'm probably the only person in the US to have finished PhD in 2 years from start to finish. Okay, and finishing PhD, I joined IBM. IBM back then was the best high-tech company, okay? Those of you who are not students, parents, you probably know that. Best hardware company, because it challenged each technologist, okay, but gave them unlimited freedom. Freedom, remember the word freedom? And support, whatever it took. Basically, my manager used to come and say, Rao, what do you want to do? Okay, well, sir, tell me the problem you want me to solve. Well, IBM systems are here. This is where we need to be. So if you have some ideas on how to go from here to there, okay, that's the problem you need to work on. Okay, so the moment you solve that problem, you have automatic product lined up, okay, in a way. And but IBM, companies like IBM gave you unlimited support to make that happen. Very important. Over the next 25 years, I invented many, many technologies and products like industry's first plasma display, 100 multi-chip. This is where the world is today after 40 years. Okay, the systems guys actually are the best way to look at the packaging. The end goal of packaging is system. The end goal of packaging is not a device. Okay, and that's the concept I had 40 years ago. That's the concept the industry now beginning to adopt for the first time, starting about now. And that's where, in my view, India needs to go as well very quickly. So anyway, I became an IBM fellow, typically awarded 1 in 10,000 employees. I was the first Indian born to have achieved that historic milestone. Then I joined Georgia Tech because of my youngest son. I had 3 sons. My youngest son wanted to go to Georgia Tech. My oldest son went to MIT. I tried to get my youngest son to go there as well. He said, no, Dad, I want to go to we call it, okay, Georgia Tech, we call it MIT at the south. So it's all engineering, just like MIT up north. Okay, that's what he did. So I decided, let's go see Georgia Tech. We both went there, spent a weekend. I ended up talking to the dean and eventually introduced me to the president while I was there, on and on and on. I got talked into. So we had a father-son package, okay, to go to Georgia Tech, and that's what we did. Okay, so one very important thing, since there are a lot of faculty here, there's one, I pioneered many things in the academic world as well, but the single most important thing I want to convey to faculty here is the following. Okay, so I have developed a model, okay, a model that allows universities, how universities can work with the global industry, companies from around the globe, to develop industry-needed strategic technologies. In my view, what you folks do, okay, because you don't have a large industry in hardware, so for most part, what you're doing is what I call academic research. I don't use the word academic research in what I do at Georgia Tech. I call it strategic research. Strategic research useful to companies for them to want to use it. In fact, a lot of times I said, I'll go to companies and ask them, sir, I would like to work on this. Are you working on this? They said, no. Okay, the university should be working much beyond the industry, otherwise you can't help the industry, okay? So that's what I would like to do. I'm coming here every 3 months now, wanting to find a way to want to work with the faculty. I work with Bijoy here, sitting in the front seat here, okay? And I'd like to hopefully I can work with many others. The end result of my industry academic model is form a team involved in the academic faculty, full-time research faculty, industry engineers, placed by the global companies at Georgia Tech from Japan, Korea, Taiwan, placed at Georgia Tech to work with students and faculty to do what I call D&D, design and demonstrate test vehicles. Okay, for the first time you demonstrate something new that the industry doesn't have, and therefore industry can begin to adopt it. So why am I talking about all that stuff? Well, I'm not here to brag again about what I accomplished. My point is you can too, particularly now with all the advanced knowledge we have and the tools we have, software tools, hardware tools, unlike ever in the past. So if we can do that then, you can certainly do better today. Okay, just like I did, perhaps better. So what did I learn that I can pass on to you today? So I'll touch on a couple of things. But before that, though, I want to talk a little bit about where the global industry is today. So as many of you know, Moore's Law is what's taking place. But what most of you may not know is the following. Companies, most respected companies like Intel would say, Moore's Law, we expect to continue on Moore's Law. Okay, perhaps we expect to make 1 trillion transistor chip not too far from today. And if you look behind the scenes, what it turns out is the following. Moore's Law started giving us node-to-node improvement of 35% we used to get. I'm talking about transistor performance. We're not getting that anymore. Nor are we getting the reduced cost as we go from node to node. So if we're not going to get those, how are we going to extend the Moore's Law? More importantly, how are you going to get the computing performance that we need? We need exponential growth in computing performance to enable AI, artificial intelligence, okay? So it turns out, as I look back, I'm not going to the details, even to make a Moore's Law chip today, you got to have packaging, okay? Then, of course, you need packaging to connect all the components to make a system. So for the first time now, packaging becomes single most important technology, and it turns out, obviously, okay, India is now in the process of deciding, and I hope to convince the ministers and the companies, like Tata had a short discussion with Chandrasekhar on this, okay, at lunchtime today. So to invest in this new thinking, okay, new thinking being, okay, integrated components, okay, because we cannot get the performance out of the chips, okay, but this new thinking of overcoming the shortcomings of the Moore's Law performance issues and cost issues, at the same time integrate to our systems. If we did both of them, we end up with, okay, India could become a global leader in my view. Okay, so let me move on. So my vision for Indian electronics. So most of you, obviously, you know, you don't see as I see from outside India. So in a way, you have phenomenal strengths in many things. For you to be a global player, short term, to be a global leader, okay? I never hear anybody tell me, okay, that India can be a global leader. I think India is really set to be a global leader, but you got to do a couple of things. Fortunately, those things are happening. So what is that India has today that makes me believe India can be a global leader? Well, okay, look at the brain power, okay? Second to none in basic sciences, in my view, around the globe. Second to none in engineering as well, basic engineering. Okay, clearly, okay, with those two, okay, look at what you can do, okay? So that's one. The market size of billion plus, soon to be the largest. Market size in the next 10, 20, 30 years. It will be bigger than any other country, so you have that, very important. Markets, okay, markets are very important. So if you have the brain power, you have enough resources, okay, you have huge market size. It turns out geopolitics, you heard this morning, is playing a role as well. Okay, so what's lacking? Well, what's lacking are two simple things. You have the basic sciences and basic engineering, okay, but you now need to go into technologies, okay? You don't have depth, okay, in the technologies relevant to the industry, relevant to creating the industry, okay? So one is technologies, the other is manufacturing expertise and resources, two things. So if we did those two things and bring in this, what I call, from design-centric to system-centric, okay, India, in my view, is set to be a global leader. It may take 10, 20 years, okay? That's a relatively short time compared to what goes on elsewhere. Okay, so that's my view of what you could all do to contribute. So what did I learn that I can pass on to you? I'm going to talk about 7 things briefly. One is passion, 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 passion. If you don't have passion, you're doing the wrong job. You're in the wrong job. You got to move on, do something else that you're passionate about. A lot of times people say, well, I'm doing it because I have nothing else to do. Okay, which means you have not found, okay, something that for you to be passionate about. So passion for what you want to do in life is the single most important predictor of success. If you're passionate, you're guaranteed to be successful. So at this point in time, I have my own 4 passions. Even at my age, I have 4 passions, okay? One is actually helping India, believe it or not. I'm coming here at my own expense, okay, every few months, talking to as many IITs as I could, as many directors as I could, as many government agencies, as many companies as I could, because I feel strongly, okay, that's my way of giving back in a way, and that's my way of helping as well. So that's one, caring for my family is the other. I have 3 sons and 3 grandkids. My hobbies, I play golf and tennis almost every day where I live. Okay, and I'm a gardener. I'm an avid gardener, so that keeps me busy and interesting. And helping others, okay? So basically, those are my passions today as opposed to perhaps back then. So second item, first one is passion. Second one, nothing great ever comes easy. Remember that nothing great ever comes easy. It's easy for you to take an easy way out, okay? So clearly that's the wrong way to do. Nothing great ever comes easy, and you got to be passionate about, okay, whatever you do. Guess what? The moment you're passionate about something, nothing ever comes easy, all of a sudden you find nothing is forever. Nothing is forever. I've seen many companies in the US, okay, like for example, Motorola as an example, Nokia for example, Bell Labs for example, on and on and on and on. Okay, they did not change fast enough, okay, for them to survive. So nothing ever comes easy, but nothing is forever. You got to change before it's too late, okay? So I see it again many companies. A lot of times you hear the word, you cannot predict the future, right? Right? I disagree. You can predict the future, okay? How? Well, somebody's predicting. Okay, look at 2007 cell phone, take smartphone. Okay, nobody expected, okay, Apple to come up with a smartphone. Okay, you think that came out of thin air, the smartphone? No, they worked night and day, blood and sweat, okay, to make that. So somebody's working, somebody's going to make the future. If you're not making the future, which means you're not passionate about it, are not working harder. Sometimes he may not be successful, okay, but the single most important ingredient obviously passion and hard work. So yes, you can predict the future, but future comes only to those, okay, who make it happen. Like Steve Jobs, Apple, for example, he's my hero. So the other thing obviously is to do with, okay, is about life itself. So we're all busy doing what we do, but I view one's life into three phases. Learning, which is what you're doing. Okay, soon you're going to get jobs. Okay, now you're earning. Support your family, support your hobbies, and on and on and on. The third phase, that's where I'm in now myself. Okay, give back to contribute to the society you're part of. That's why I'm here. Okay, so think of it really: learning, earning, okay, and giving back. So that's what I'm doing in India. Okay, sixth thing I wanted to tell you is try to be the best in whatever you do. Okay, no reason to settle for the next best. Once in a while, yes, we tried the best, okay, you could not get that, okay, but the goal needs to be, okay, very best. And what I learned from IBM, out of 25 years at IBM, I learned a lot from IBM, systems company, of course. One thing I learned, okay, that I try to practice even today, sometimes I do forget, okay, is respect others. Respect. Regardless of who they are, okay, what they do, how they look, respect others is a very important part of learning. Again, congratulations to all of you. So my suggestion is go make a difference to yourself, to your family, to your country, and I wish you the very best in whatever you do. Thank you very much, David.
Thank you very much, sir, for your highly inspiring words. I now request the chief guest to present the prizes to the student toppers and other department award winners who are recommended by the head of the department.
As you know, some of the awards are given in the main convocation and some in the D3P. I'd now like to read out the prize winners who are receiving their awards in the D3P. Mr. Sarathi, can we start? Okay. Dr. M. Mukundrao Endowment Prize for the PhD scholar with the best PhD thesis in electrical engineering in interdisciplinary areas of research, Peddamallu Nagachandrika. Professor Akim Bob Endowment Prize for the MTech student with the best hardware project in electrical engineering, Nishant Sanjay Patil. American Express Top Achievement Award for the student with the best academic record in interdisciplinary dual degree program in data science, S. Sivasubramanian. Institute Merit Prize for the student with the best academic record in interdisciplinary dual degree program in quantum science and technology, U. Gautam. The fifth award is being awarded in absentia. It's the T.S. Vedagiri Memorial Award for the MS scholar with the best MS thesis that led to publications in highly rated journals in electrical engineering. It's Rekha Yadav in absentia. Teaching Teaching assistants are the backbone of our instructional system. In recognition of this, one of our alumni has instituted the Teaching Assistant Recognition Award, or TARA. This year, 10 students are being recognized for that, and today, 2 of them are receiving in person and 8 in absentia. The ones receiving in person are Suresh Chejarla. This is the TARA Award. And P. Naveen Sai. I will read the names of the 8 students who are receiving in absentia. Aditya Sundararajan, Ajay Shanbag, Joshita R, K. Anand, Sagi Shiva Srinivasa Dhirendra Kaushik, Gauri Prasad M, Narendra Dekonda, Shubham Paul. Professor Saradi, Aditya Sundararajan, and Ajay Shanbag. Ajay Shanbag. We have one more award which is given in absentia. It's the J.C. Bose Patent Award for 2021 in the J.C. Bose Test of Time Award. These are for 5 invention disclosures with the maximum revenue generated. That was awarded to Dr. Mohan Shankar Shivapragasam and co-inventor Mr. Kirti Ram. This is an award being given in absentia. Thank you.
We now have representatives from the student side who will share their experiences at IIT Madras and in our department. I first invite Mr. Aditya Sundararajan of the graduating dual degree batch to talk about his stay at IIT Madras.
Hello everyone. Sorry. So it's surreal being here. I remember thinking when I joined IIT Madras 5 years ago that 5 years is a really long time and it'll take forever to graduate. But it's passed by in the blink of an eye. And I don't know about all of you, but for me, IIT Madras was like a hard reset because we come here and we hear that we have so much time and freedom to test the waters and see what we want to do and what kind of person we want to become. But all of this was quite overwhelming for me. And it took a while before I realized what my college life would be like and what kind of person I was going to turn into. But, once you start getting used to things, everything starts moving a lot faster. So once I got into that cycle of spending time with friends or attending classes or spending a lot of time with organizing sarang, things started moving really fast. And one thing which was like very important part of this was my friends. I think there were like multiple times when I started like a lot of unnecessary discussions when I could have just Googled the answer to a question or finished the lecture I was halfway through when I had the doubt. So thank you to my friends for that. The other really important part were the professors who have shown an unwavering dedication to the subject and who have also been nice enough to let me work on projects under them. In specific, I would like to thank Professor Anirudhan and Professor Nagendra. The projects I've worked on under them have shown me exactly what my strengths are and what I want to be doing in the future. And so I think my last class in college itself was like a year back because the final year was taken up in project work. And my last class was wireless communications, and it was taken by Professor David. So I don't know if you remember this, but in the last class, what happened is after you concluded, one student unmuted and thanked you, and then that was followed by everyone else thanking you right after that. And all the thank yous were like very genuine, and you could see that Sir noticed this too, and you could see on Sir's face how much it meant to him. And this small incident, however small it was, for me, it just made me think, wait, what? How is this already over? This is really nice. I don't think we're ready. But nevertheless, I think this knowledge transfer that happens in our college is truly amazing, whether it's from professors to students or between students itself. So I would like to thank all of you for being a part of this journey for me, and I wish you all the very best for the future. Thank you.
Next, I invite Ms. Lishma Matthew of the graduating MTech cohort to speak a few words about her experience at IIT Madras.
Honorable Chief Guest Professor Rao Artumala, Head of Electrical Department Professor David Koilapalli, respected faculty members, beloved parents, and my dear friends. Today, we are celebrating the 59th Convocation ceremony for what we have witnessed a productive year over there. It is a blessed and auspicious occasion for us, a golden opportunity to learn in such a prestigious institution in India, IIT Madras. To be an IITian would bring an inexplicable joy for us. Where to stand, where to go were big questions. But I was sure that IIT would uphold its dignity. Thank God I am part of it. Now, I take this privilege to stand here to extend my sincere gratitude to the entire electrical department. The head HOD, I was doing TA-ship under him, and all the teaching and non-teaching staff. Here it indeed needs special commendation of my guide, Dr. K. Giridhar. His advice and care valued a lot. And my faculty advisor, Pradeep sir, deserves great recognition. I was happy with this majestic campus, even if I had come late due to pandemic COVID-19. Even in COVID situation, IIT Madras maintains its standard. I could not put into words how IIT Madras and electrical department have helped me in reaching my milestone. I thank my parents and my entire family for their immense support. It's a pleasure to thank my classmates, seniors, and friends in this proud moment. Lastly, I congratulate all the award winners and graduates in their success and wish them a great future. Thank you.
This year, we have 209 graduates receiving their degrees in person and 58 receiving their degrees in absentia. I now request the HOD to present the graduates and the chief guest to give out the degrees.
Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, Amitabha Datta. George Tachil. Adusumilli Vijayabhaskar. Anthony V. Mampilli. Dibakar Yadav. Manoj G. Gowda. Shrikant K. Silpa S. Nair. Deepak Bhatt. Yusuf Panbiharwala. Suma H. Satya Jayadev Papu. Durgesh Singh. A. Rini. Peddamallu Nagachandrika. Shriga Kollapu M. Valli. Koneru Basava Naga Girish. Akshay K. Let's give a hand to all the PhD recipients. Next, Master of Science by Research, Shraman Mukherjee. Vijay Anand. Vivek Nandkishore Oza. Bharat Basavaraj Manvi. Padmanabhan A. Atreyi Saha. Let's give a hand to all the Master of Science degree recipients. Master of Technology MTech, Abhishek Nayak. Arun Jose. Vignesh Kumar S. Sumit Kumar Chaturvedi. Kush Narayan Nagar. Sridhar D. Amal G. Varghese. Bharani Vinay Babu. Karanam Vinod. Kotti Venkatasai Kiran. Lishma Matthew. Arugula Ravi Kiran. Sarthak Gupta. Kella Tedesh. Vallepalli Naga Venkatasai Ram Kumar. Saurabh Singh. Sushant Saxena. Varatiya Kalavati. Rashmi Prajapati. Poturi Sai Sumant. Surya Bhushan Dwivedi. Toparapu Bhargavi. Ujjaval Kumar. Burevar Sumit Balkisan. Sumit Singh. Suraj Mitra. Ayush Mehra. Rahul R. Rishabh Banduri. Yadunanda BN. Amit Kumar Kabat. Dipanshu Agarwal. Mari KL Maunika. Vaddi Nikhil Kumar. Ravi Shankar. Padir Saumitra Sriram. Yashobanta Mahali. Kumar Pallav Singh Rathor. Karthik M. Anshuman Mishra. Let's give a hand for all the MTech degree winners. We move on to the web-enabled MTech, Prasanna KG. Deepthi Kansal. Santosh M. Preeti Kumar. Abani S. Rao. Shrey Khanna. Gondalia Praveen Kumar Nagjibai. Preeti Singh. Rajiv B.A. Meda Kalra. Muhammad Wasim Syed. Indranil Sarkar. Mauvik Bagh. Taushik. Okay, wait just one second. Taushik Basu. Varshit KH. Keshav Kant Saraf. Nishant Sharma. Satya Shekhar Prasad. Manju Krishna S. Mahesh Kumar. Purnachandra K.R. Anand Vibhu. Raghavendra N.A. Deepak C. Vinod Kumar. Prashant Dikshit. Syed Tausif Hassan. Vignan Roy K. Santiago S. Nagendra P.B. Bibin Paul. Ravishankar S. Let's give a hand to all the web-enabled MTech students. Dual degree BTech plus MTech, Akash Reddy A. Aluwala Sai Harshita. Hari Shankar S.J. Nishant Sanjay Patil. Pranjal Jain. S. Sivasubramanian. Shubhankar Chakraborty. U. Gautam. V. Sai Krishna. Saurav Sahu. Kolliboina Sai Teja. Komineni Aditya. Mansi Chaudhary. Parth S. Shah. Vaishnavi R. Lakkalkatti. Rudrapatna Vallabh Ramakant. Karthi Srinivasan. Sanjana S. Prabhu. S. Vignesh. Abhishek Tigga. Aditya, oh, sorry. Aditya Sundararajan. Bagde Akshit Danesh Kumar. Banu Prakash Veldandi. Gabriel V. Vance. Gokul Mohan Raj. Maniala Yashwant. Mori Setti Venkata Anup Suhas Kumar. Moturi Naga Kaushik. Nikhilesh B. J. Om Shri Prashant. Prithvi Raj R.G. Sahadeva Reddy Aditya Swarup. Samyak Jain. Sarah. V. M. Rishikesh. Vignesh Natarajan. Kotwal Om Praveen. Yash Sharma. Abhilash B. Gampala Sai Dheeraj. Gurajala Bhavita Chaudhary. Harshavardhan M. Sali. J. V. Raghunath. Kada Vijayalakshmi. Kamula Sri Haricharan. Katam Seva Sashank. Malkapuram Gandla Rajashri. Mamta Lingappa Vadodagi. Marada Bharat Chandra. Motukuri Sevita. Nallamalli Gokul Pratyush. P. Sai Venkat Kushal. Pativada Karthik Naidu. Pranjali Vatsalaya. Pratham Sanjay Sonaya. R. Aditya Gautam. Shagnik Pal. Sankesula Akhil. D. Tony Frederick. Atishay Ganesh. Dhruvjyoti Bagatte. Toshniwal Ayush. Anand Uday Gokhale. Vaid Danish Danji. Let's give a hand to all the dual degree students. Bachelor of Technology, BTech, Abhishek S. Abhishek Shivram, AM. Attanti Bhavyasri. Gollapalli Anirudh Sagar. Gorantala Rohit Kumar. Hari Krishna P. Jarpula Narender. Kanta Navadeep. Karthikeyan R. Manepalli Nitin. Meenakshi CS. Mauni Preetham Malyala. Nitin Babu. Nune Sahiti. Pakala Chaitanya Krishna. Puvi Arasu NP. Paineni Rupesh. S. Karthik Saran. Sheikh Reshma Rukshinda. Siddesh S. Swati Sheenam. Uppalapati Nitin Chaudhary. VSS Anirudh Sharma. Harshit Srivastava. Sri Venkat A. Anugyan Das. Bondlakunta Dheeraj Narayan. Chelagam Setti Venkatasai. Chimbili Nagadipti. Devadas Ramadarsan. Devara Setti Sumant. Davuluri Kritin Chaudhary. Harsh Srivastava. Kanakamedala Sai Ritvik. Kaustubh Tripathi. Kollipara Lakshmi Saumya. Kotipalli Jayarama Krishna Varaprasad. Manda Steve Enosh. Mareddy Srinivas Reddy. Poreddy Arun Kumar Reddy. Praveen Kumar M. Saili Mayana. Sanikomu Madan Mohan Reddy. Sikkakollu Venkata Pavan Sumant. Yerramneni Geeta Prasuna. Rahul Vasant. Rohan Ganti. Siddharth DP. Anirudh S. Ravi Shankar Gupta. Let's give a big hand. That brings us to the end of our degree distribution.
We have a few more words from some of the graduating students. I request Mr. Shrey Khanna to say a few words about his experiences in the Web Tech program.
A very good afternoon to GFK sir, Professor Rao, members of the faculty, parents, my batchmates and colleagues who will be graduating today from this prestigious institution. I am Shrey Khanna from Qualcomm. I am extremely honored and deeply thankful to the institute for presenting me this opportunity of sharing my experience of the web-enabled MTech program. This program has been a wonderful and extremely fulfilling journey, full of ups and downs, laughter and tears, constantly juggling between office work and college assignments, last-minute studying for the exam tomorrow, and most importantly, convincing my manager to grant me that additional day of leave to prepare for the upcoming exam. This web-enabled MTech program is unique in its own way. You don't get to live the much-acclaimed hostel life. At the same time, office goers' favorite weekends are no longer at your disposal, as you would have an assignment deadline approaching or an examination itself. But what it gives you is a unique opportunity of applying your classroom learnings directly to real industry problems. We often hear about the disconnect between academia and industry. This course perfectly addresses this issue and provides an excellent platform for collaboration between the two. During the tenure of this program, at times you might feel bogged down while trying to balance both work and course, but there would be enough eureka moments which will keep your spirits up and running. Learning from the best professors that the country has to offer will not only give you a better understanding of your own work, but also the understanding of the work which is being done by other teams in the organization. This course broadens your horizon and allows you to look at a problem from multiple perspectives. I have to say that at the beginning of the course, all of us had our own set of apprehensions about the utility and academic rigor that the course would offer, but all our concerns were duly addressed as the course progressed. Extra effort put up by the professors and TAs and excellent collaboration between IITM and all organizations transformed this virtual classroom experience to a real one. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to my parents, my manager at work who was extremely accommodative, all our professors and TAs, and all the batchmates without whom the classes would not have been this fun and collaborative. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thank you.
Next, Mr. Padmanabhan A. of the graduating MS cohort will share his experiences.
Good afternoon to one and all. It is my honor and a privilege to take few minutes to glance back at the enriching experience at IIT Madras. I started working in photonics, where I use modern computation algorithms to build high-power lasers. But you know what? I finally got placed in Intel as a FPGA software engineer. I attribute this success to our department's very nurturing environment and interdisciplinary effort. It is also further proof of the effectiveness of our department's updated curriculum, its connections with industries, its encouragement to startups, and other value-added sessions. I should also comment on our general lab culture, which molds a studious amateur like me to an employable, confident, and an ethical professional, all without losing one's natural flair. Given all this credential, it is no surprise that IIT Madras, and especially our electrical engineering department, stands tall with best placements for research scholars. So I extend my gratitude to my guide, Dr. Balaji Srinivasan and Deepa Venkatesh, and also the department for giving me this incredible opportunity. Special mention to our department staff who have been working so much. They have been very kind and they have been very supportive to all the students, and they deserve huge credits. I would like to conclude by thanking everyone who supported me through my tenure at IIT Madras. I had unforgettable 3 years here, and I will miss you all very much. I wish all graduates the very best. Jai Hind. Thank you.
I now invite Mr. Akshay K., a graduating PhD student, to say a few words.
There's a famous story in Mahabharata. Once the great Guru Dronacharya was teaching archery his students. He hung a wooden bird from a tree and asked them to shoot at the bird's eye. When Arjuna held the bow and aimed, Drona asked, "Arjuna, what all do you see?" Despite all the distractions in the background, Arjuna replied, "I see just the bird's eye, Guru." He shot the arrow and successfully hit the bird's eye. Arjuna's success is not just because of his inborn talent alone. A few other important contributing factors are, first, the rigorous training by Drona. Second, the availability of all the resources required for the years of training. Third, a peaceful environment in the forest ideal for concentration and learning. And fourth, a competent peer group who push each other to be the best versions of themselves. And the list could go on. Well, these are exactly what the IIT Madras campus has given me. It gave me a group of exceptional teachers, including my guide, Professor Karmalkar. Second, it gave me all the resources required for my research and other opportunities. I could be a part of multiple projects undertaken in collaboration with several leading research groups in India and abroad. Third, it gave me an ideal environment for attaining peace and mindfulness essential for my research. There's a coil behind Tharamani Guest House. I've spent countless hours sitting on a bench among the trees on its premises. The sight of the moonlight over the trees as it swayed gently in the breeze, and a herd of grazing spotted deers can calm down stressed out PhDs. Fourth, it gave me an unparalleled peer group. Apart from academics, the discussions with my friends in the lab and hostel have fundamentally transformed the way I perceive and interact with the world. This campus has enabled each graduate in this room to hit that bird's eye, despite having several setbacks, including the pandemic. I congratulate each one of you for making it. Before concluding, I would like to thank all my teachers, friends, and family, my mothers here in the audience. It's her vision and guidance throughout my life that has led me to this moment, and I feel happy to watch her being proud of me. Finally, I wish each one of you all the best, and thank you once again.
Professor David Koil Pillai will now present a memento to the chief guest to mark the occasion. I request everyone to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तब जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
With this, we come to the end of the function. The faculty and staff of the electrical department at IIT Madras wish the graduating students the very best for a bright and successful future. Good day to everyone.